Good morning. It is 10 a.m. on October 17, 2023. We'll call to order the meeting of the Story County Board of Supervisors. Please stand with me if you're able and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adopt today's agenda?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin. Heddens.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. Thanks. Now it's time for public comment number one. This comment period is for the public to address topics on today's agenda. Anyone wishing to make public comment, you can raise your hand on Zoom or step forward to the table. And seeing no one step forward or raise their hand, we'll close public comment number one. We have no agency reports. So moving to consideration of proclamation recognizing October 2023 as Watershed Awareness Month. Supervisor Heddens.
Whereas water quality collaboration has been formed between the city of Ames, Huxley, Nevada, and Gilbert, Story County, Prairie Rivers of Iowa, Leopold Center for Sustainable Agriculture, Story County Community Foundation, Isaac Walton League, and Story County Soil and Water Conservation District. And whereas the purpose of the Story County 10-year water monitoring program is to collect and analyze water sampling data to increase residents' knowledge and understandings and identify problems in our watershed to support and improve surface and groundwater quality. And whereas water quality and flooding issues in rivers, lakes, and streams cannot be mitigated without good stewardship of the private and public lands in the watersheds that drain to those waterways.
And whereas implementing green infrastructure using native vegetation and improving soil health aids in absorbing and filtering out excess nutrients and pollutants through use of land. And whereas educating about how we impact the health of watersheds where we live through our everyday activities.
And whereas keeping our watersheds healthy protects public health, water supply, fisheries, wildlife, agriculture, supports economic development, and enhances recreation activities in our communities. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Story County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim October 2023 as Watershed Awareness Month. We urge every citizen within Story County to recognize the importance of the watershed in which you live and to commit to keep learning and identifying how you can make a difference even in your own backyard. I move the proclamation.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin.
Aye.
Heddens.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. And I believe we have a picture.
What? The internet is going in and out. Oh, we're having a great day, aren't we? Great. Has it been going on with it?
Great.
Thank you.
Moving now to item 8, consideration of minutes from October 10, 2023.
I move minutes as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Heddens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. Consideration of personnel actions.
I move approval of personnel actions as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin.
Aye.
Heddens.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. Consent agenda.
I move approval of consent agenda items as listed.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Heddens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. We have no public hearing items. Moving to additional items. Discussion and consideration of Justice Center generator repair proposed for $51,839.48.
We got there.
Thanks.
Good morning, board.
Morning.
Okay, here to discuss, we've had a kind of a critical component on one of our generators at the Justice Center failed on us back in June. It's the voltage regulator. As you can see, I tried to describe it the best I could in my memo, but it's kind of got a little bit of a domino effect for the component that's actually bad, kind of dominoes into having to do other forced repairs, which the other forced repairs are more costly than the actual part that failed. But it's basically, the voltage regulator does is it basically makes the generator match the utility power so that it protects the electronic equipment inside the building. And so that, and since that facility has two generators, you know, you got to match the two generators and then match the utility power so that when they come online, we don't damage any equipment and loss of interruption as much as possible, because we try to, that facility has a fast acting transfer switch so that it's like 15 seconds from the time the utility power drops till then generators are fully running, because of mostly because of the jail facility that's in there. So as you can see, it's a lot of it's just, you know, the current generator is about 20 years old, about halfway through their average life expectancy. And technology has drastically changed in the last 20 years. So it's, if we want to be able to maintain operation of both generators running at the same time, which is what we do, because the facility will run off of one, but we have two, so we have redundancy because of the jail facility. But we run them simultaneously because it's less wear and tear on the generators themselves to run both of them at about third capacity instead of one at about 2/3 capacity and alternate them. So we would be able to use one or the other, but it would require multiple steps to physically transfer the load. So I reached out to two different approved repair service places that can do Caterpillar repairs. We use both of them. Altifer is who is generally takes care of those generators, and they're based out of Cedar Rapids. And the reason we've stuck with them is back when that facility was built, we did a collaboration with Alliant Energy to help pay for the cost of those generators in the geothermal system. They did a load shed program with us about 6-7 years ago. We bought that contract out, so we no longer have that agreement with Alliant Energy. So Altifer was there, who they chose to do because we have annual maintenance contract with Altifer. They come in quarterly and, you know, do inspections on it and recommend repairs. So that's why Altifer we just maintain that. But with their proposal, with them being based out of Cedar Rapids, they wouldn't provide because you can see in their proposal, additional costs were travel, mileage, per diem. And when I reached out to them to kind of get a more specific cost on what that would be, and it was dependent on who they sent, how they decided to do it, whether they sent somebody each day, because it's a 5 to 7 day repair to do both generators. I couldn't get even what they would charge their normal per diem rate. And on a normal case, when we have had repairs done that weren't covered under our maintenance contract, just to get them on site, it's about $800. So if they chose to send somebody each day from Cedar Rapids, the easy math is it would be at least $800 a day to have them there. And then if they put somebody up in a hotel room, they said they would charge us actual cost of whatever they spent on a hotel, and then they would want to do longer work days, but he wouldn't give me their overtime rate they would charge. because anything after 5 p.m. would be at their overtime rate. So
And all those issues are not in the Ziegler proposal, correct?
in the Altifor proposal, those things are not covered in the Altifor one. If you look at it,
No, but I'm saying Ziegler doesn't have anything like that in
no,
there.
that's a total, the total cost is the
Right.
Ziegler one. That's why my recommendation, on the surface, it appears that, you know, the Altifor one is lower. But I don't like, it's not an accurate estimate.
Total
So,
cost.
And then I dug in and confirmed that having Ziegler do the work would not cause an issue with the maintenance contract we have from Altifor. I got way in from the attorney's office on that to make sure that we didn't violate any clause in our service agreement that we have with Altifor if we went with Ziegler to do the repairs.
How long is that service contract for?
They're just year to year.
Oh,
So,
okay.
And we've already been discussing Altifor's service contracts have been historically lower in cost than what Ziegler would charge us to do that because they take into account their travel. But in the last probably 3 years, as those generators have gotten some age on them and they had some components fail, those trip charges are starting to add up. So we are looking at possibly switching the service contract with a different provider. But and then if this is approved, it would most likely require a budget amendment, but I spoke with Lisa Markley about this, and our plan would be to wait till closer to the end of the fiscal year because we may be able to absorb most, if not all, of the 50. It's called 52,000. So
Thanks for checking on that.
Yeah. I tried to cover all the bases. That's why it's
I think you did.
been in the works for a few months, but we're running on of a used voltage regulator that Altifor had. So it's not like we've been like at risk this whole time. It's just, it's a used part. So
Awesome. Any questions for Joe B then?
I do not.
Okay.
I would move that we approve the Justice Center generator repairs proposed for $51,839.48.
Use which company?
With Ziegler. Wasn't that the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Merkin.
Aye.
Hedens.
Aye.
Hazel. Aye. Thank you, Joe B.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for like answering all the questions before they were even asked.
I try.
We have no departmental reports, other reports, any upcoming agenda items?
I keep hoping we'll have some information from the OCIO regarding our broadband grant applications, but keep checking every day, and they're about, good 2.5 weeks late on when they said they would announce. So we're just waiting on that.
Okay. All right, moving to public comment number 2, comments from the public on items not on this agenda. The board may not take any action on the comments due to requirements of open meetings law, but may do so in the future. Anyone wishing to make public comment, you can step forward to the table or raise your hand on Zoom. And seeing no one step forward or raise their hand, we'll close public comment number 2 and move to liaison assignments, committee updates, and announcements from the supervisors. Supervisor Merkin, want to start?
Got a couple meetings this afternoon, just some business. IT department recognition tomorrow morning. Probably will try to attend part of the United Way director interview in the afternoon, but I may have to leave early. Thursday, we have a Headwaters WMA meeting in Roland, and then an Iowa Creek WMA meeting later in the afternoon. It's WMA. It is Water Quality Week, or month, isn't it? So we're having all those. And Friday, I think there's another United Way director interview that I'm hoping to be able to attend. Let me see about next Monday. There's another meeting. There was another one on Monday. So, okay.
Sure. I'm here this afternoon. Tomorrow, I'm gonna zoom into the DEI webinar, and then I've got the IT recognition as well. And then I have I'll be out of the office in the afternoon. I have a meeting Thursday morning. Just a reminder, I'm on KHI radio. So if any department heads or elected officials have anything you want me to add to say, please let me know. I then have aging resources meeting over at Story Medical. And then I have SART meeting with Nevada in the school resilience team meeting in the afternoon. Friday, so we have a brown bag lunch on permitting requirements, and I too on Friday and Monday going to try to go over to the United Way interviews if I have some time.
Great. Today is one of my crazy weeks. So I've got a NACO Central Region meeting this afternoon, and then Story County Housing Trust meeting, SIRHA tonight. Tomorrow morning, there's another childcare meeting similar to the one that was held last week, but it's going to be in Boone. And then we have the pronoun training in the morning, IT recognition, and United Way interview in the afternoon, and then CCJ board meeting that night. Thursday and Friday, I will be in Des Moines at the SIRHA retreat. Friday, all day Thursday, and then Friday until about noon, when I'm gonna try to make it back for the United Way interview. I'm gonna miss the green team meeting that day, and then Monday United Way interview, and then Monday evening is the Women in Leadership event. It's the last one for this year. This cycle should be really good. So that's it. Anything further? No. All right.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Heddens.
Aye.
Merkin.
Aye.
Basil. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.